Hey guys, and how's it going? My name is McGrew, and today we'll be making shock tabs. Here in front of me, or beside me really, I have this steel stock here. It's 6mm, which is about 1/4 inch, and it'll make good tabs for what I need. I need shock tabs, and I also need some bracket tabs for the 3-link system that I'm building. So here I've got the flat stock that I'm using to make my tabs with, and as I am showing here, I've measured the overall width, which is approximately 2 inches wide. I split that in half to 1 inch, and then I run using the caliper down one side to mark a center line. It's just a light line, but it helps me find center in that flat stock. So to make sure that I don't forget to tell everybody, I've measured from this edge up, and this point here is the point where I am going to make the hole. So I've already measured out my distance of 1 3/4 inches from the back edge to the center of the hole. Now I'm going to make the hole, and then I'll cut out the piece around it. Making my pilot hole with a 5mm bit. As I just mentioned, I'm using a 5mm bit to use as the pilot bit. That way I can get the bigger bit to go through, and it'll end up making a better hole. Now, because this is a 16mm hole or a 5/8 inch hole, I actually am using a hole saw, not just a drill bit. I haven't been able to find any 1/2 inch drill bits that make a 16mm or a 5/8 bit, 5/8 hole. So the hole saw, in fact, that I'm using is one that's specific to Chile because it's just a local brand. But it works pretty good, and it might be something you guys want to look into as well. Clearly, I drilled the pilot hole. And if you notice, I'm doing all of this first. I'm actually drilling the hole in the metal first, and then I'll go back and cut it out. Here I'm spraying some WD-40 as a lubricant, because cutting a hole through 1/4 inch steel is, it can be tiresome on your drill, and it can be tiresome on the bit. So it's good to lubricate it and make sure that it cuts well, and it just helps keep the hole saw longer, and it helps keep the motor of your drill better. Now, I actually flipped this over because it started binding a little bit. Remember, using a hand drill, there's a potential for binding. And then I finished up the hole. Here I'm using the caliper to make a 3/8 border around the edge of the outside edge of the hole. And I started to mark the outside line of the tab, the outside shape of the tab, with a wax pencil. But then I went back and used a paint pen to mark the line. And you can see me drawing out the basic shape of this tab. This shape here is a specific design. It's my own design because it's for a specific application on my Daihatsu. And I actually need 4 of these. Here you can see that I've made the cuts, and then I scored the cuts, and then I made the cuts out. Then I had to go back and sand it all off, as you can see here. Here I've got the first tab that I've already sanded down and done everything with. I'm making a template with it for another tab. But in any case, what I'm doing in this case as well is I've clamped it. I marked center on the hole. I marked center of the tube, and then I marked center on the plate, and then I drilled the hole, and then I cut it out afterwards, cutting on the inside of the line instead of the outside to make sure that it came out close. And then I've got it clamped together with vice grips, and I'm sanding it with the angle grinder and the belt sander, which you can see in the background, to try to get them as close as possible to being perfect. That way the tabs line up. I hope you guys have really enjoyed everything that you've been seeing here at Beginners Fab, and I hope you guys continue to stop by to see what new stuff we have going on. You can check us out at our YouTube channel, and also at our website at www.beginnersfab.blogspot.com, where we'll keep things updated each time that we have something new for you guys.